Meet Abhinav and Shanu Jain, a true power couple who met during their engineering days at NIT Jaipur. Abhinav started his corporate journey in Reliance at 5 lakhs per annum salary and stayed there for 10 years, and he quit his corporate career at 13 LPA. Whereas Shanu took a very different path. After switching multiple companies, she scaled from 8 lakhs per annum to 55 lakhs per annum. Two very different careers, but one common outcome. Together with disciplined investing and a frugal lifestyle, they built a 2.5 crore mutual fund portfolio. In this episode, we break down how they invested as a couple, how they planned their money together, and their secret saving habits.
Switching jobs can significantly increase your salary and hence your investable surplus. But one thing which worked for me in Jamnagar, I was surrounded by a lot of Gujarati colleagues, and they were like deep into equities. They don't understand any other investment options. So that triggered the curiosity in me about the stock markets. When I joined my job, I started saving in FDs and RDs for almost 2 years. But since I mentioned that I was surrounded by a lot of folks who were already investing in stocks and mutual funds. So I started my investing journey in 2014. I opened my Demat account by then and used to invest based on tips and recommendations from colleagues only. By 2016, I realized this is not the right way to participate in stock market, and I need to develop some kind of knowledge into this field. Then I decided that I should go for some kind of certification course or some kind of professional study which will help me to understand the companies better. So then I decided I'll appear for CFA level 1, and I completed that in 2018. And that helped me to do fundamental analysis of the companies. Then I learned technical analysis, and later I used charts to do swing tradings in stocks, in fundamentally good stocks basically. And in this journey I learned options trading also, which I did from 2021 to 2024. So there were two parts of my trading journey. First was when I was doing with my job, and another part when I was doing without my job. So I started in 2021, left my job in 2022, right? So during this period, I realized that doing trading was not that difficult, because anyway salary was coming, and I had no pressure to earn money out of trading. So I was doing good at that time. But the moment I left my job and started trading on my own, I felt it very challenging because there is no social circle left for me, right? And I was doing it in complete isolation. That time I realized it's not about skill, it's about your
mental strength, I guess, to go through those phases. And I saw that as well. Trading also felt like a quick money, right? For a year or two, on one day you are earning maybe 20,000, 30,000, feels like a win. And then another day maybe you are losing 50,000. So that peaks and troughs that come with it are tough to handle, is what I would say, I guess.
That mental toll it takes to go through that phase is very difficult, because you are not getting any salary now. You have pressure to make money, and that pressure itself distracts you a lot. So then I asked myself whether I can continue it for next 15-20 years, and the answer was clear no. I cannot do trading for rest of my life. So I started my investing in 2014. I had zero investments in mutual funds or stocks at that time, and I achieved my 1 CR in 2022. It took me 8 years to achieve that number, and that is through everything, through mutual funds, through stocks, and through trading. So everything contributed to that. Now I moved everything into mutual funds. So I started my mutual fund SIP in 2016. The first investment amount was 2,000 rupees, but I quickly increased it to 20,000 per month in 2016. So in 50,000 salary, I was investing 20,000 comfortably, and also used to invest in stocks. So apart from SIP, I was investing in stocks also. I would not say that I was lucky. So there were many people who were earning salary similar to me, but they were not investing. So it's not about luck, it's about mindset towards money. So I always gave priority to the investing first and then spending later. So that was a conscious call to start investing early, and I invested lot of money in my education as well in all those years. Yeah, so I had a lot of interest in reading about personal finance stuff, and so I invested a lot of time and money on myself to upgrade my knowledge and skills in personal finance. So yes, this may feel lucky because obviously your cost of living is low, so you have more money in hand, but not everybody is able to invest that kind of money even if they are earning high.
In Jamnagar also, no, I think
Very,
not everyone was investing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
actually only the Gujarati people were investing in equities. But if you talk about mutual funds, where the awareness level was very low, I actually helped many people to start their SIPs in my department or in my friends or family circle. So lot of people say this, that we don't earn enough so that we can invest. Mutual funds are such products which allows you to invest even 500 rupees per month. So if you don't start, you will not realize the power of compounding and power of investing early, right?
you need big sums to invest.
So you don't need a big amount to invest, because you have a lot of avenues where you can start small and slowly slowly increase your investment amount as per your increase in salary. So it's not like that you cannot start investing. Yes, there may be constraint that you cannot invest big, but at least if you start, you will start believing in the mutual funds and power of compounding and long-term investment theory. My total portfolio size is 2.5 CR and everything invested is in mutual funds only. So, out of 2.5 CR, 80% is exposed towards equity, in which 75% is Indian equities, 5% is international equities. Plus 12-13% is around debt exposure, and 7-8% is in gold plus silver, and everything is through Indian mutual funds only. Even international equity exposure is through Indian mutual funds. Right now we are investing around 1.5 lakhs. We can actually invest more, but a lot of my earnings goes back into my business. So I am investing around 40,000 and she is investing around 1.1 lakhs. I have a 3-step framework to choose a mutual fund. The first one is, what is the purpose of investment? This is the first step. I always define an objective to an investment. That gives me clarity what kind of time frame I have to invest, plus what kind of amount I need to invest. So that gives me idea to how much I can take a risk in a particular investment. These things allows me to choose a category of scheme. So whether I want to invest in flexi cap, multi cap, small cap or mid caps, right? So second and third criteria works parallelly. One is quantitative criteria, where I check what is the consistency of fund. I check the history of returns, whether the returns are achieved through by taking higher risk or by doing the right asset allocation, right? I check the fund, now in qualitative analysis, I check the fund manager's experience and whether he is investing as per the scheme's mandate. Suppose they are talking a lot about the value investing, but their fund shows that their investment is in growth stocks, high growth stocks. That disconnects me, because now there is uncertainty regarding the style of the fund. So I was investing in that fund for the value style, but ultimately the fund is investing for the growth style. That disconnects me completely.
And you use some software also, right? I think to analyze mutual fund data or something.
Yeah, I used a lot of software. So primarily Engine Markets to get detailed insights about the allocation of mutual funds, where they are investing, what decisions are they are taking month on month. So that should align to my goals. Once you attach a purpose to the investment, there are high chances you will not touch that particular investment in between. So if my goal is for 3 years, or if it is less than 5 years, I would rather prefer balance advantage funds or hybrid funds. So if my horizon is for 7-8 years, I would go for multi-cap, flexi-cap. If it is for 15-20 years, I will do a good exposure in small and mid caps as well. So it all based on time frames. So for goals less than 1 year, I will not invest in equity at all. I would rather prefer debt funds or maybe arbitrage funds. So I always compare, maybe this may not be the right comparison, but I always compare a balance advantage fund with the Nifty 50. But I always check whether this fund is able to match or give closer returns to Nifty 50 with very low risk. Because for BAF also it is not easy to match a Nifty 50 return, but there are certain funds which are able to do it, and that too with 50 or 55% of equity, net equity allocation. So I always remove those funds which are going up to 75-80% equity allocation and taking lot of risk, even more than Nifty, and delivering returns like Nifty only.
And it's more about risk adjusted return.
Yeah,
right?
so I always prefer to get a risk adjusted return rather than higher returns. So even if fund is beating Nifty 50 historically, but it is taking higher risk, I would avoid that, and then build an overall portfolio. After building an overall portfolio, you should check the how much it is diversified. If it is diversified across AMCs plus across market caps, and there should be a minimum overlap between the funds.
But isn't there also one thing, like can you have like 10 mutual funds in a portfolio different, or would you also restrict maybe to only 5 or something like that? Do you have a philosophy?
Yeah, I usually restrict to 5 equity schemes, plus I can have 2 hybrid schemes or one or 2 debt funds, so not more than that. I believe 5 equity schemes are more than enough to create wealth for you. It's not about the scheme, it's actually more about the asset allocation as per your risk profile and financial goals. So let's take an example. If a person who is earning around 50,000 a month and wants to invest around 20,000 a month in SIPs, he wants to achieve that 1 CR number in mutual funds in fairly long term, let's say 10 years. Now, if he is sure enough that he will not touch the money in between, or he don't need that money for other things, then he can go for multi-cap funds. If he is not sure about the if he is not very good at selecting mutual funds, or even if they can go for mid-cap and small-cap allocation. But if the goal is for 5 years, they can go for flexi-cap or some diversified schemes. You should always consider returns as 12% to calculate your SIPs. If you are getting anything more than 12%, you should be happy about it. If you want to chase higher returns, you need to take higher risks accordingly. So you should rather focus on increasing your earning potential rather than focus on increasing your returns, because returns are anyways not in your hands. That are the byproducts of investing. You cannot control the returns, but you can you can increase your salary by switching jobs or upskilling yourself, or maybe do higher studies or something like that.
Right now we are spending let's say 50,000 is our rent, and we have the house help and the groceries, so you can consider it almost close to 1 lakh is what we are spending. And if you can consider the discretionary spend, we have a daughter 1.5-year-old, and maybe if we do trips, so we average it out close to 1.5 lakhs is our monthly spend that we have besides investing that we do. I do hide money. I have some amount of money that I've got.
I know that amount, that is 10,000 rupees in her
is
mirror. So she thinks she is hiding from me. I know about that.
It's not big, but good enough if I have to get something.
So see, we maintain a emergency fund of 6 lakh rupees, right? Plus we both have credit cards with 10 lakh limits each, and we also have a limit of, since I don't sell my mutual fund, I pledge it to get a credit line for that. So I have 20 lakh credit line from that mutual fund.
And for emergency, we have the insurance also.
For emergency, we are very well covered, and we both have term insurance. We both have
personal health insurance.
I have 5 crore of personal health insurance policy. So I don't see any scenario where I'll need money immediately for any short-term emergency. So I don't save anything in my bank account or FDs or RDs. I invest everything in mutual funds. So 1.5 lakh is a monthly SIP amount, but regularly we do lump sums whenever there is extra cash in bank at month end or in quarter end. We do lump sum investments as well. So no savings, only investments. The only thing which is going other than mutual funds is PPF. We both invest PPF 1.5 lakhs in month of April every year.
But frankly speaking, I'm not fully peaceful, right, about fully investing into mutual funds. Like our whole money exposure is to mutual funds. I also think at times like whether if the market crashes, then what happens to our money. So while he knows maybe more about these things, that's why he's comfortable and peaceful. But yeah, it's I feel that it's a tough one for sure, like investing all of your money in markets. And should we have a land or something as well?
Definitely we'll buy a land maybe in next couple of years, but mutual fund will be my first choice because of the liquidity and flexibility it provides. So even today if market crashes by 50%, it will be 1.25 CR. That is not going to make any difference to our lifestyle. So I don't see it as a concern. Rather, I believe that you invest so aggressively that even 40, 50, 60% crashes don't affect you. Your lifestyle should be such that you are not spending like anything. You are buying a car and every 2 years, or you are changing your iPhone every year. We always think if we need something, we will buy. If we don't need it, we probably postpone our decision, and maybe after some time we realize we actually don't need this thing. So whenever we buy something, we think of using it for longer term. So like I remember when I bought my first car, at that time I bought a Honda City, and it was really out of my budget in 2015 or 2016. I bought in 2015, but my thinking was I am not going to change in this car in next 5-6 years. I want to use it for maybe 10 to 15 years. Now 10 years passed, I am still using it. It's a very good car, and it solves our purpose, and we don't feel like.
But it was not your decision. Honda City is something I wanted to buy. You're justifying it, I guess.
but I did not convince you for some.
Yeah, that is true. You agreed, but that was my decision. Honda City was a good purchase because of me. The second thing that we do is, which is because of him only, he has figured out tricks to use credit cards also. All our grocery spend, everything happens through credit cards on Amazon, buying vouchers, and which helps us save close to 12 to 15% on our spending. And the third thing that we do is consciously spending whenever we spend, right? It's not to say that don't spend, but consciously spending. So whenever we want to buy something big, right, close to 50,000, 1 lakh a thing, we will discuss with each other whether it makes sense to buy and is it really needed or not.
So she's the CEO of our house. I am the CFO. So she defines objectives for me. So she's the boss obviously, and I follow her instructions.
Not at all true, but yeah.
I have seen lot of couples treat their money separately. They don't consider it as a household income. They consider okay, he is earning 50,000, she is earning 50,000. Both manages it very separately.
I think money is an integral part of.
So
of
many
decision.
couple hesitate to discuss about money themselves. They should have that kind of comfort within themselves that they can share or they can discuss their money matters sitting together. If you look it as a combined household income, you can plan it a lot better about your future goals. So when I talk to a lot of people, the one common thing I observed is people think that investing in the stock market is very risky, and all of them will have one story where they will tell, अरे वो देखो वो दीपक जी का तो सब कुछ उसी में चले गया है ना, वो फ्यूचर में सट्टा लगाते थे.
They consider it gambling, I guess.
Yeah, so everybody has that bankruptcy story. Very few people listen to the success stories, right? So that fear of going wrong is another big thing which restricts people to start investing. people are
what I
ready
feel.
to lose money in those telegram channels or those TV experts, but they don't want to invest their money to get a right advice. So that is the one of the most biggest mental block that people have, that okay, he's going to earn something from me, and that TV analyst is giving it for free. So I am not paying anything to anyone, but they don't realize that one bad advice can take away all your capital, and you cannot complain to anyone, right? So if someone is starting their investing journey, they can start with Let's Talk Money, the book written by Monica Allen. Very simple language and very actionable insights. So they can actually develop an investing mindset from that book, and further they can read lot of articles in like Outlook Money or ET Money or Mint, where people do ask a lot of personal finance questions and experts respond to that questions. So I learned a lot from those kind of articles. So frankly speaking, I don't want to retire. I want to work till my brain and body allows. Okay, and she can't even sit for 2 days if she don't have work. So she loves her job. I loves my personal finance work. So we'll continue to do that till our health allows. And if you talk about financial independence, I think like my current calculations suggest that if we achieve that 15 CR number in next 10 years, we would be pretty comfortable with our life. So then there will be no pressure to make more money. We will eventually make more money because we will continue to work, but that mental pressure will go away.